So, school assignments. I'm like 70% sure that majority of my audience are younger than me, so it's likely that you are still in school or you are currently in high school. I have recently just graduated. Thank God I'm out of that hellhole because I hated it. The only reason I went to school was to see my mates. Everything else, hated it. But what I hated the most were assignments. Especially assignments which teachers gave that were they just felt deliberately bad. Like they were just organized in the worst way possible in order to stress out the student to the point they'll just develop a stress disorder because of the assignment. So I'm sure that at least every person in their life has that one assignment from hell which just threw them through a loop on just how absurdly bad it was in just both how it went and how it was executed. Because by God, my horror story of an assignment, everything went wrong. Everything you could possibly think could go wrong in an assignment happened. And it wasn't just because of what happened or like what the end result was. Every step of the way was painful. Okay, so let me set the scene. I'm new to the school, okay? I just moved schools. I'm in a new school and I get put in this class of a bunch of final year students, a bunch of year 12s, and I'm not a year 12, okay? I'm not a year 12. Yet for some ungodly reason, I am taking stage 2 psychology with a bunch of year 12s when not only am I a grade lower than everyone, I am also younger than I am supposed to be for that grade. And I don't know anyone. We get given our first assignment, okay? And I don't know why the teacher thought it was a good idea, but the first assignment he gives us is a group presentation. First thing in the year, a group presentation for a class. And by the way, we got our first assignment of bloody the first week of school. So I swear to God, I hate this teacher. If I remember correctly, I think we got the assignment on the 4th day ever of our schooling. So this is stage 2. And it's like, okay, go for it. Go into your groups. I'm not grouping you, whatever. And so a class of year 12s that I know nobody at all, and I just don't have anyone to partner with. If you've been in that situation where you've just been in a class full of people and they announce that it's a group assignment and everyone just starts walking to like their social groups and you're just sitting there all by yourself, alone, not standing up and no one's coming towards you, you feel like shit. Yeah, you just feel terrible. So everyone goes into their groups and I'm left over with this one dude. He gets left alone. So I'm like, listen mate, let's just pair up for this assignment because no one else is going to group with us. So we're in a group of 2 for an assignment of supposed to be designed for 3 to 4 people. And I split it up to 50-50 so we each get an equal amount of work and no one gets screwed over and does all of the work while the other person just relax and gets an easy A. That is not foreshadowing. The teacher was nice enough to give us a period of class time to get started on the assignment. I get to typing away and then I hear the click clack clack of his computer. I'm like, all right, he's working. But then I realize he's also using his computer mouse. I'm like, who the fuck typed while also using the computer mouse? And then I realize I look over and this motherfucker's playing CSGO in his psychology class. My partner is playing CSGO when we're supposed to be working. Great God. I'm like, okay, fine. Maybe he's just one of those dudes who doesn't like working at school and just like likes to work at home. Whatever. We all got our different methods of working. Let's just hope for the best. A few days pass. The teacher gives us another period of class to work on our assignment. And I think this is a good time to check in on my mate to see how he's doing, how my partner's cruising along. I've got about like my half of the assignment almost finished because I just wanted to get this shit out of the way. I just really didn't like this assignment. So I ask him to show me what he's got. He doesn't tell me anything. He goes silent like a suspicious motherfucker. So I tell him, pass me your computer. Just let me see the document that with all the information. Come on, just pass it over here. He's written one paragraph and it's information. It's the introduction. It's not even the part that he's supposed to be doing. I just look at him and was like, why are you doing me like this? Why, mate? And he's like, listen, I'm repeating this grade. I thought it was going to be easy if I did it a second time. I'm realizing it's not. I was like, you repeated this grade? And it was at this point I realized he was 3 years my senior. I was like, oh, fuck. fuck, how screwed am I, mate? He's like, very screwed. I'm sorry. So I'm like, okay, listen, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna split the work 7-3. So I'm doing 70%, you're doing 30%. Hopefully this will go good. Here's the deal, I'll do 70%, but only if you present this. Only if you're the one who goes up in front of the class and has to speak all that shit, because listen, I hate speaking, so you gotta do it. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. I'll agree to that. I'm just like, okay, good. So I go home. I have to work harder because now I'm doing more than I was supposed to. And then we move along. There are 3 days left at this point. And I decide to check him in one last time. This is his last chance. I ask him to give me his computer. He passes it to me. He's done 3 paragraphs. There are 3 days left and he's done 3 paragraphs. This is not enough. This is simply not enough. So I have no other choice. I tell him I'm sorry as I get up and I walk over to the teacher. And I go to the teacher and I ask, listen, my partner, I don't think he's going to be able to pull through on his end of the work. So I need you to tell me what I can do to actually pass this assignment, because at this rate, I'm not even going to have like a good portion of my assignment. So what can I do? The teacher tells me, well, you could remove your partner from the project, any information he's done, and you do the project separately. But here's the thing, you'll be doing a full project and I'm not going to give you an extension. And I look to my partner and I'm like, and I go, I'll do it. I'm sorry, mate, but I had to throw you under the bus. Listen, it's not even throwing you under the bus. I'm throwing myself under the bus. This is a double suicide at this point. The only difference is that I actually did some of the work beforehand and you just did 3 paragraphs and played CSGO in the middle of class. I mean, like, come on, you're playing CSGO? That's way too obvious. You could have been playing cool maths game instead. That would have been like, at least you'd have like an excuse. It's completely obvious when you play CSGO in class. No one uses the arrow keys that much, and no one moves their mouse in a circular motion while doing schoolwork, okay? We all knew you were playing CSGO, so it's done and dusted. I move along. The next 3 days, I'm finishing off this assignment at like lightning speed, okay? This is a full report. In the end, my report was about, I think maybe 7 pages or so. I don't know if that's big or not. I don't care. I then had to make the presentation and then I had to write a speech. I absolutely hate that. But I had to do all of that within 3 days. And the funniest thing out of all of this is, you bet, those 3 days I hardly slept. You know what my topic was on? Sleep deprivations and the effects that it has. The sad irony of the situation. The day finally comes, and by the way, just to screw me over, I had another presentation that day for literacy class, which surprisingly went very well, which you'd think would be like a good omen or something, because in this English class, it was a persuasive speech, and I pretended to be a villain that was recruiting people, which gave me the ample excuse to just threaten the entire class that if they didn't listen to what I would say, I would kill them. And I got an A for that. I had to do that presentation first. Next period, I had design, and then after that, I had psychology, which was my final period. And that's when I had to give my presentation. So I'm sitting there in design, Babu's sitting next to me, and he's like, don't worry, you got this handled. Like, look at this, you got so much information prepared. You've got this. So psychology finally rolls around, and I'm waiting for my turn. Someone presents before me and was like, oh shit, mine isn't probably that good. Again, this is just me by myself doing a group assignment with no extension. Fuck you. That fucking asshole teacher didn't give me an extension. You'd think that I'd earn an extension for the fact that I'm doing a group project by myself, but no. Anyway, finally comes to my turn, and I step up in front of the class. I plug in my USB, and I begin my presentation, and I start to cry. I start to bawl my eyes out. I'm not even particularly sad at this point. I'm just like uncontrollably crying. I'm not even like really that sad or scared. It's just like physical reaction to the situation where my mind was just like, okay, we're not exactly that stressed out and you are looking very composed, but we are going to cry. But the thing is, I had already started it at this point. I was already beginning. I already began to talk, so I just kept going. I just kept presenting through my entire psychology presentation while bawling my eyes out and whimpering very pathetically. Here we have the and the sleep deprivation of It was honestly a pathetic sight. I'd look back to the class and I swear to God, there was like this one girl who just looked at me and it was just a sight of pity. I could feel the pity emanating from her. She just like was looking at me and was like, this poor girl. Oh my God, this is a train wreck to watch. Even the teacher was watching was like, oh my, she's not stopping. She's still going. They're still going. And by the end of it, I'm still in tears. Step down, I take my USB, and guess what? None of the other groups present. You want to know why? The teacher decides, you don't have to present anymore. I'll just like pretend that you presented and just grade you on the work, but you don't have to present anymore. Why didn't you say that? Why didn't you say that, you goddamn teacher, before I got up there? You could have told me that while I started crying. It's like, oh, don't worry, you don't have to present. You let me stand up there for 6 minutes crying my eyes out while I pathetically talk to you about why sleep deprivation is bad, as I have giant ass eye bags under my eyes because you would not give me an extension for a group project that I did by myself. I hated that assignment, but motherfucker, I got a B+ on that and I think that's great.